Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to our Open Buildings Designer Live. This is our eighth session in this series. I'm Beatrix, your host for today's session. For the benefit of those who are joining us the first time, this is a series of LinkedIn live sessions introducing features and capabilities of Open Buildings Designer. Open Buildings Designer is Bentley's complete design and BIM tool for architectural, structural, mechanical, plumbing, and electrical design. If you'd like to try out what you see in the demo today, you can download your 21-day free trial by scanning the QR code in the top right corner of the window. There will be tips and tricks, user case studies along with it to ensure to gain the most during the trial period. That's me. I'm a sales engineer for Open Buildings. I am based in Germany and I have worked for mechanical and civil industry for a long time. Joining me is our main presenter, Brendan, and our backup presenter, Ramau, both based out of London. Brendan, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Beatrix. Yeah, my name is Brendan Roach. I'm a product specialist, so I will be leading today's demo, talking about the workflows, and I'm joined by my colleague Ramau. Ramau?
Hello everyone. I'm an application engineer for Open Buildings and I work alongside Brandon and I'll be helping you today with some of your questions and assisting Brandon with the presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. As Ramau said, he will answer the questions and comments posted over LinkedIn today. So please go ahead and put your questions in there if any, in the comment section. You see our email IDs. Feel free to email us should you have any questions there. No problem. You see the QR code on the top right corner of the window. In case you have trouble scanning the smaller QR code, here's a larger one. Scan to download your free trial. Like I mentioned, you will receive assistance over email to use the trial effectively. If you are attending this live session over LinkedIn Live, do know that the resolution depends on the bandwidth and quantity of your internet connection. Some tips from us: connecting via the Ethernet cable gives you the best quality to the connection. Do close down any applications that use up too much bandwidth, and the best resolution is achieved when you are not multitasking while watching the session. Just in case you don't have good internet connection, the recording will be posted on on our YouTube channel. Our previous 7 sessions are available on the Open Building Designer YouTube channel. That's the link for the YouTube channel. We can post a link in the comments as well. Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. In our live session, we focus on demonstrating using the software. Brandon will creating a connected project that will be hosted from issue resolution service, the options for adding project members for communication purposes, how to round trip an issue from generation to resolution. And I will give over to Brandon. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Beatrix. I'm just going to start sharing my screen, and if Ramau, you can let me know once you can see my screen. Uh,
Coming up.
There it
Yes, we
is.
can see it.
Yeah,
okay, all right. Thank you for that introduction, Beatrix. Welcome, everybody.
thank you.
So today's presentation is obviously about Open Buildings Designer and the Issues Resolution Service. There are some basic prerequisites in order to enable this workflow. And what I'd like to do is just spend a few minutes looking at those prerequisites so that we can then look at the different workflows and capabilities inside that become available to us. Okay. Um, I guess the first thing to explain is, well, what is the Issues Resolution Service? Okay, so the issues resolution service is one of our cloud offerings. It's connected or embedded in our offerings of ProjectWise 365. I'm going to be using ProjectWise 365 and our sort of legacy projects, which are available through, connect.bentley.com, where you can log in and create a project in there. For today's presentation, what I've done is I've actually created, I've gone to projectwise365.bentley.com, and if your organization already has a commercial relationship with Bentley, you will be asked to log in using the standard ID that you use to log into your Bentley client. And it will bring you to the landing page for ProjectWise 365 for your organization. And I've been using ProjectWise 365 for all sorts of various demos and other activities for a while now. So on my landing page, you can see I have a number of projects already created. To actually create a new project that is going to be specifically used for, project coordination, for using the issues resolution service, it's a simple case of filling out a form. Okay, the project number can be in any format that you want, in terms of what is relevant to your organization. Same with the project number, and obviously there are guidelines and various international standards that might be relevant, or local standards for you guys to adhere to. The billing country is, you would have to gain advice about that from your account manager, but essentially it helps sort of control the. I'll just fill something in here so you can see this, how this works. Okay. Okay. And then there are a number of data centers around the world. Each of those data centers is configured to create and offer various services. So the general rule of thumb is to use the one that is closest to your region. Obviously, we have a global solution, so we have capabilities spread throughout the world, and I dare say that these centers are all based on the Microsoft Azure hosted centers. So that we're leveraging the data centers. There are some specific regions that have requirements for internally, within border hosting, and we can always have discussions with people about that. But I'm just going to choose a data center that's local to me. And in terms of coordinating activities, again, we just need to specify a time, an underlying time governor that is relevant for everybody. So most people will, choose something that is relevant to them. I'm just going to scroll down, and it's going to take me a little while to find. I could either use UTC, or I could use Dublin, Lisbon, London. Now, once you've done that, it's just a matter of hitting create, and it then goes away, and in the background it completely provisions your project. It sets up all the services and databases that you need to actually begin leveraging all of these services. So it's a very light touch. It's very quick and convenient. When I say quick and convenient, it may take 5 or 10 minutes, but that's just because we're doing an awful lot of work in the background to facilitate this capability. So this is one end of the setup, and I just want, before I go back to the Open Buildings side of things, I just want to show you what's actually created by that process. Okay, so I created this project a number of days ago in preparation for this this webinar, and this is your landing page. When you log directly into the project, this is the landing page that you arrive at, and it's a little dashboard or perhaps desk aid, if you like, where what we're doing is, for instance, things up here, we've got a number of work items. Uh, they could be anything from tasks to RFIs, issues, etc. And we're just giving you a summary, a running total of various things. So we've got design tasks, RFIs, requests for information, submittals, which is our formal communication process for perhaps the more important or critical sort of communications, like issues for tender, issues for construction, that kind of thing, where you need to circulate batches of documents to people and then audit trail the responses, and etc. We have the ability to do document reviews or 3D reviews, etc. And then we have issues, and you can see here I've got a little issue of summary. There's an issue box down here because some of the issues have been closed, and we'll see these, but this essential page gives me a little tabulated view of what's happening or might be need to be brought to my attention. Okay, what we then have is a series of icons on the left hand side down here with various attributes. So we can actually, for instance, store centrally and share across the globe or across the team documents that people are working on. So again, I'm not going to go too much into this because we're talking about the issue resolution service, but you can customize this list of folders and to whatever scheme that you have. And we actually have the ability to synchronize these a little bit like OneDrive down to people's desktops, so that they can work as if they are working locally on the machine. Okay. There is, I'm just going to jump a few things, but there is this option further down here for the issues resolution service down here, and we're going to come back to this. And this is where I would see all of the well, not all of, but essentially this is where I would interact through the web-based end of this communication workflow with the issues resolution service. But who has access to all of this? Who can, how do I give people access to these documents? How do I share this information with my project participants? Okay, well, we have down here in the bottom of the corner of the screen, down here in the bottom, is we have some project administration. And here we can see, for instance, in terms of managing my team, so my internal team, within my internal organization, I can actually add project members. Okay, so you can see both myself and Ramo are here. So internally within my organization, it's connected to the Bentley Active Directory, or whatever the terminology is. So I can see people within my organization, and if I wanted to add them to my project, I can add them to my project, and I can give them a project role. So for instance, if I just look at manage roles, we have an entire system of permissions for various activities and services, including the issues resolution service, so that they can see things or interact with things. Okay. Again, I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Okay, but I'm just showing you that there is a sophisticated, role-based activity kind of permission going on in the background. So let me just go back for a second. We can see our users, but for those organizations that need to correspond with people outside of your own organization, you can actually invite an organization and other members of that organization to this project. So this is how you build up your supply chain communications, not only supply chain, but greater project team communications. So you can invite them into the project. It emails them an invitation. It establishes those the right and the privilege for that person to join the project, and you can include them in all your communications. Now, that's one end of the process. What I want to do is to move on to the second part of this process, which is OpenBuildingsDesigner. So let me just open up OpenBuildingsDesigner. Okay, I'm inside a work set that I've already created. And what I want to do is, if I just close this file down for a second, I just want to look at this. So in OpenBuildingsDesigner, when you create a work set, you can give it a name, you can give it a description, you can control the folder locations, etc. But there is this little project-wise project setting at the bottom. And by hitting browse here, what I can do is through the connect client, that establishes my bona fides and links into ProjectWise 365 and connect.bentley.com, and it gives me a list of all the projects that I have access to, and I can then select the project that I'm working on and associate it with my local work set. Okay, so I can hit associate, and I've already done this, but you can see I can look at recent items, items that are favorited. So anything with a blue star has favorites. And just by the way, just also to mention at this point, I went to ProjectWise 365 and created a project there. It is possible to also create a project from this end as well. Okay. And it's exactly the same process. You fill in a form, it generates the project in the background. Okay. Let me just cancel that and cancel that again, and then just open up the document. So whilst that's opening up, I'll just nip back to oops, sorry, I do apologize. Back to ProjectWise 365, and let me just see where I was. So there, go back to the home page, and
Sorry, Brandon, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but can I just ask, as we are nearly 20 minutes in,
yeah.
are you going to show us the issue resolution from Open Buildings?
Okay, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll show the start of the issues resolution service from or the creation of an issue from within OpenBuildingsDesigner.
Understood.
Next, I'm just waiting for that file to actually open. Okay.
Okay.
So once you've actually got your document, your file open, you'll notice that there in OpenBuildingsDesigner there is a Collaborate tab. Okay, it's up here at the top of the screen, and you'll find that repeated under many of the different workflows that we have. And there are two items here. There is Manage Issues and Create Issues. I'm just going to open up the Manage Issues dialog box first. And what it's doing is it's reaching out into that project-wise 365 project, establishing a link with the services, and I can tell it here that I actually want to look at the issues that have been created. Okay, and the issues here are being filtered as by either assigned to me or include closed items. So I'm just going to switch on include closed items, and what it might do is might bring up a longer list of issues for me to look at, so I can see the history of those issues. The speed of which this happens, okay, is depending upon the speed of your internet. Now, I'm broadcasting my video at the same time, so this might take a little while to process, a little bit longer than it would normally, so please bear that in mind. Okay, so I'll just let that run for a second. See if it's going to come up. As always, when you're doing a live demo across the internet, the speed of the internet connection and the number of users we have connected
things are
might
loading a little bit.
might affect things. Yeah. So let me just close that down and just refresh it again. Okay, so I'll just put it back on issues, and there we go. So this is my issues resolution manager, okay? And I can go up to here, and like I said, I can filter things. I can even search for things in my list. But there's also a little plus sign here to fill out a form. But what and that could initialize an issue. But what I'm actually going to do is, first of all, I'm actually going to zoom in my window. And I'm going to select something, say, for instance, this column here. And then I'm actually going to go up to create issue. And okay, create issue. That's interesting. And just do that. Select a form, design issue, create. And now what it's done is allowed me to create, it's created or opened a form for me. So I can say, begin to fill in information here. I can put a due date on it, etc. I can give it a status, like draft, or I can actually assign it to somebody. So let me just say it's assigned to somebody. It's assigned to Remo. What finish do we need here? Oops, sorry, I can't. Bit of a bad poor typist. And then what I can do is I can look at attachment. So there is no attachment here. I can create a view to capture. So let me just click on that. It's capturing a view in the background. I don't know if you can see at the bottom of my screen. It's actually creating an image there. Did it create that? Let's see if it has. Click there again. Okay, let me just save that. Okay, that's interesting. Don't know why it's not done that. Okay. I apologize, for some reason it's not capturing an image. You can also uplink or attach documents to this issue if it relates to some item. We have a commenting system, so you can add comments here. I can have an audit trail of it being created, it being assigned, etc. All of that is being done. And once that's done, I can hit close. And that document has been saved into the issues resolution service. Now, what should happen in the background is that if you have your Connect client open, so for instance, Remo has it open, Remo will actually get an email from the issues resolution service saying that an issue has been generated and assigned to him. Obviously, that takes a little time to come through. So let me just show you the Connect client.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I can just jump in, I did
Yeah.
receive the email notification and I'm just opening the issue right now.
Okay. So what Remo can do is he can respond to that. In fact, he could open up his OBD. He could open up his manage issues window. He can see, he can filter the list of issues that have been assigned to him. And then he can open up one of those issues and begin either commenting or adding to information to that issue. Um, Obviously, all the time that that is happening, it's adding the audit trail information. Now, I've opened up the connection client just to show you that we also get information um, regarding issues broadcast in the connection client. So, for instance, here I have um, uh, some of my back history for the issues resolution service, or based on comments or a flow of work between myself and Remo, and I can click on that and help navigate, uh, you know, to that issue. It'll open up a browser. It will, ask me to log into the project. It will take me to the issues resolution details of that, and I can see here the information, the comment history, and the audit trail for that particular issue. Now, this particular issue didn't have any images associated with it or any documents. Okay, but if I go to, there we go. Okay, if I go to the issues resolution service in the web, again, this is where all of that information has been. Oops, sorry, I do apologize. Should have gone there. These are all the issues that have been generated on this project. And you can see here that the due date has been highlighted in red so that I know that it's either due soon or it's actually overdue. So there's one here that's overdue. Okay. I can respond to these. Remo, have you actually updated and saved a comment into the Penthouse columns one?
I haven't yet. You want me to do it? I
Yes,
can.
please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so in the description, Brandon asked which finish do we need in the columns. I responded that the penthouse columns should be finished, and I'm assigning it back to Brandon, and I just save. And Brandon very soon should get a notification saying that the issue has been updated.
Yeah. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. I wasn't expecting that to pop up. Okay, so I'm just going to open up this else just for the time of brevity. You can see Remo's put an extra column in there. He's put, he's put some details in the description. I can say, right, okay, I can close this down now. So I can just mark this closed, save that, and it's been updated, and I can now hit cancel. It takes me back, and that is now in the closed state. Okay. So let me just go back to OpenBuildingsDesigner for a little while. Okay. And let me just talk a little bit more about this. So I created a very similar issue and captured an image with that issue earlier today. And so if I open up this one, okay, you can see, again, it's a very similar issue, but there is an attachment here, and you know, I can see that attachment. Okay, there are no documents associated with this or comments, but I can look at that. And where else can I do? Okay. That's an attachment. Let's have a look. Okay. So there is a notification area system in the background. I apologize, my internet connection might be a little bit slow, but let me just have a look at, oh, sorry, I do apologize. Have a look at my Connect client, open that. Again, just, sorry. Let's have a look at my notifications. So again, that I've got a notification in my Connect client to alert me that that item came through. It's very discreet and very subtle, deliberately so, because obviously if you're working on multiple projects, the frequency with which messages and pop-ups might occur might become annoying. But we've tied in initial email notifications to people to alert them to the creation of sorry, excuse me a second, to the creation of the actual issue itself. Okay. We don't give you, you know, pop-ups and messages. Sorry, I do apologize. I don't know why those are coming up again. We don't give you annoying pop-ups and overload you with those, but we do give you an email message that alerts you to critical things like the creation of an issue, etc. Now, the other way to actually generate issues is if you've actually published, if you've taken a model such as this and you've actually published it as an I model for the purposes of design review, etc., and that you can, you know, do you know, clash detection or some other collaborative workflow that requires people to look at aggregated data. So I've published an iModel already, and let me just find the tab. Here it is. It's the same item, and this is a web browser. So this is something that doesn't need OpenBuildingsDesigner installed. You can log into a session like this through a web browser, and it can be any. I think we support most of the web browsers. You may get better performance from a Chrome or a Microsoft Edge-based browser, but what this is, it's a web-based application that allows us to interrogate the model, see the intelligence of that. And I'm sure there are lots of other presentations that we've either done in the past or we're going to do in the future that are going to talk about I models and I twins and things like that. But for today, what I'm going to show you is the fact that from here as well, you can log into a web browser and you can open up or you can create an issue from the web interface. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom into something. I'm going to select something. Come on. When I select it, it's finding the metadata on that object. and then I can hit create issue. And what it does is, again, it opens up a web-based version of that form. So again, I'm going to create a design issue. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to give it a due date. So there's a little, again, a little calendar that can open up, assign to, and I'm just going to assign it to Romeo, and ask him a question: is this the right color? Okay, and hit save. And again, that is being embedded into the issues resolution service in the background. If that was that list of drop down is obviously my project members, my project participants, and I can then um, uh, select the right person to send that to, and they can then receive that alert, and then they can open up the web browser. If they don't have OBD installed, they can open up the web browser. They can look at the issue in the issues resolution service. So again, if I could just go back to the issues resolution service, you can see here it's been assigned to Remo. And again, you can see the issue there. There should have been an image associated with that. Okay. Let's look. Oops, I do apologize. I've lost my place now. Let me just hit cancel on that. Go back to the iModel design review session. So are we getting many questions in the Q&A, Remo?
No, not so far. I think everyone is just watching the presentation and waiting for the Q&A. I think we have just a few minutes of the presentation left. Just
okay, all right, okay.
3 or 5
So
minutes, and questions should come in.
Okay. So whilst I'm waiting for that that model to load up again, so in terms of, well, just to really summarize, we have the ability to open OBD and create issues directly from OBD into our central issues resolution database. Once they are in that issues resolution service, the person that it's assigned to is notified or alerted to the presence of or the existence of that issue. They can then interact with that link, because in the email there is a link that sends them directly to that issue. If they have the Connect client installed, they get an alert in the Connect client, and they can again go directly to that issue in the web browser and interact with the issues resolution service. We also have the ability to do design review sessions where you can open up a 3D model that has been published into the cloud, into the connected project. You've got all sorts of various tools to measure things, to query things, etc. But we can create issues on here. So you can now see what I've done is when I've toggled the issues, you can now see in this model that there are some little flags here that highlight where an issue has been captured. I'm getting a little preview of these issues up here. So for instance, if I just click on this one, okay, that's the issue. So let me just zoom out a little bit, perhaps just rotate the model. And if I hit go to saved view, can you see it's zooming in to where that issue was created? Okay.
It's interesting
And
to see as well. Sorry to jump in, Brendan. That
mm,
the flags, the color of the flags, is related to how urgent the issues are and the due dates. It's something I hadn't noticed before.
yeah, no, good point there. So we have a little, green amber, well, an amber red color scheme going on based on perhaps due date, etc. There, you can see the history of items in there, so you can see the history of them. There's a little notes page, and if you actually want to edit the issue, update it, I can actually click the little edit button up here and perhaps make a comment, add a part of the description there. I can go to the notes. I can see which is actually the audit trail, but I can add a comment. For instance, like red question mark, and I apologize. I just move this out of the way, and I can hit that the send button. It's added the comment to the comment trail. Romeo, I don't know if do you want to add a comment at your end? Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So I already got the notification and the email with
Mm,
the new comment. So again, I'm just logging in to the portal. Is this the right color? So I'm going to go to the comments tab and say, reply to your red comment. Say, yes, red is
mm,
the correct color.
yeah. Okay.
And then I add the comment,
Hmm.
and I'm just gonna assign it back to Brendan.
Don't reassign it. Just hit save and update it. Yeah.
If I don't reassign, I can't save it because
Okay.
the
All right.
comments
Right.
are automatically
Reassign. I
saved.
apologize. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'm
So
gonna assign it back to Brendan and save, and then it's done. You should get the notification very quickly now.
yeah, that's a nice little security feature there in the assignment. The assignment basically is saying the ball is now in your court. So when you edit or update an issue, um, and you have to reassign it back to somebody else to let them know that you have amended or updated the audit, the actual issue, so that the audit trail is kept up to date, etc. So let me just see if I can go back to here, and I'll just come off this for a second and wait for I'll just refresh the page and just see what's going on. Hopefully this is forcing an update of the notifications and synchronization process so that we can okay, yeah, let's do that again. And once hopefully this has come through, we'll take time for the Q&A. Okay. Well, in fact, let's start the Q&A. So is there anything in the Q&A chat window, Ramon? Any
Yes,
questions?
we have a question from Arcadius who's
Mm.
asking, can you assign an issue to several different project participants?
Generally speaking, no, I think at the moment it's only one project participant. I think we can
Okay.
confirm that later if you want. Okay. Um, I could just try it now, but let's see. Okay. So this is loading. Did you have a look at the signage notes? And there you can see. Okay, you can see that Ramo's comments have come back. If I just create a new issue, let me just choose something else. Choose this item. Oops, sorry, create issue. Design issue. Assign to Ramo. No. Issues can only be assigned to one person.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you might not be getting the more people in the suggestions there in the drop down menu just
Mm.
because we don't have more people assigning the project. So
Maybe,
That's maybe the reason. Mm.
yeah, well,
mm,
uh, maybe.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
we can probably follow up on that question.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other question?
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
I think let's just give it a few minutes to the audience to see if
Mhm.
anyone else
Mhm.
sends us a question.
Okay. The other thing you can do is you can from the issues resolution manager, um, you can do things like export information to Excel. Okay. Um, and if I just open up that file, it's just I guess a summary page. Let's have a look. Once it's open, you can see there. It's just a summary of the pages, and you've got due dates in there as well. Um, the status, etc. So you can do things like that. Um, One thing that I didn't show is you can actually attach a document to an issue, um, and um, so you can actually. So this issue number 3 has a document associated with it. If I just click on that link there, it will be a PDF. Well, I've done this with a PDF document,
Okay.
and I've just made some highlights in here, and I've made some markups inside of here. So again, I can see markups linked there, and you notice in here there is a create issue button. So I can take a markup in this document and create an issue from it, um, and create an issue record as well in there. Okay, so click that. Okay, refresh. Okay, so we've got that ability. So perhaps I'll just, you know, yeah, just so it doesn't have to be, working in 3D models. You can mark up PDFs and create issues linked to a PDF, and um, we're tracking that document in the issues resolution service. Let me just hit cancel on this, and you can see way over here in the side, you can access the link there to that document as well. I'm going to stop there. Are there any more questions in the?
No, not in a
No,
moment.
Okay. All right then.
No.
Well, if there are no more questions,
Yeah.
I'm going to say thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you,
Um,
Brendan.
yep, and I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Ramon.
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And there was a lot of information now about that, and maybe we have on our email addresses we get another other questions. Then I will forward them to you, Brendan, or to you, Ramon. Then we'll
Yeah,
see.
absolutely.
Yeah. And now I'll direct you to the high quality learning content from Open Building Things Designer, our focus webinars. You can see the list here. Like I mentioned earlier, we also have a YouTube channel dedicated to Open Buildings Designer with ever-growing playlists for the different disciplines. Do check these out and subscribe to the notified and new content being posted. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments section. Uh, Also, we have product-related query. If you have product-related queries, please do visit the communities, Bentley communities page. The application engineers will be able to assist you here. You can put in questions. And also, we have a LinkedIn group for open buildings users to stay updated on events, tips, tricks, product updates, and more, as you can see here. Yeah. Any more questions? I don't think so. Okay, then that was it for today. That's all. Thank you again
Okay.
for making time to join us. Thank you for the and please do join our next session, our session number 9 of the series, and this will be on 13th of April. This session will talk about from Open Buildings Designer to Open Buildings Energy Simulator, design and analysis workflow. I hope to see you at this session, and the link will be posted. The link will be posted in our LinkedIn group. Take a moment to join us at our Open Buildings inside Open Buildings LinkedIn group. Meanwhile, do try out the software using the QR code on to download your 21-day trial from Open Buildings Designer. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Ramal. And also thank you, Meenakshi. She helped me a lot with the preparations for my first session. Wish you a nice day. And yeah, thank you very much
Okay.
for attending.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Goodbye.
you very much, everyone. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Bye. Thank you.